I am a part of Lewis University, and I will be a part after I graduate, and I will have had an effect on this campus, and this campus has had an effect on my life.
I graduated from here in 1974, and I really hadn't heard about Lewis until my dad drove me here one day and said, "You're going to college here." And I loved it. It worked out really well for me. Lewis is still a very small, loving environment. I found that years later when my daughters went to school here. Everything he did was incredible because he went to one-room schoolhouses as a child all over central Illinois while his father was building railroads. So he always said, "I have no idea how I got an education. My dad would have wanted to be an accountant or a stockbroker." When he became very, very ill, decided that this is what he wanted to do, is start this scholarship. We kind of questioned if we could ever even do it. What I will say is when we showed up at Lewis after Dad's death, they couldn't have accommodated us better.
Each opportunity that you take, it opens your eyes, it opens your heart to a lot of things. And so you're forced to grow and you're forced to stretch. And I'm sure going to take that with me beyond Lewis because I've seen it and I've been there and I want to help and give back to him.
Financial aid that I have received has had a huge impact. Of course, with the economy the way that it is going right now, it's even more crucial for students. My husband was actually laid off about 1.5 years ago. I was actually very fearful that I was not going to be able to continue. So I approached the dean of the College of Business, and he connected me with some people in financial aid, and we sat down, we went over the whole situation, and there were some scholarships that I was able to apply for and some financial aid. And I was very, very honored and very proud of Lewis and how they came through for me. And because of them, I'm here and I'm graduating in May.
I had an opportunity to play basketball here at Lewis. I was a basketball player. Me and my 3 brothers were raised by my mother. And I knew it would be difficult for my mother if I needed to require a full amount of funding from our home to go to school. I worked work-study for the College Success Program. That was the first chance I had that I was called upon to do a little bit more than participate. It was a meager paycheck, but it was more than that because you get a sense of giving when someone needs you and you have this mentorship opportunity in front of you. I want to give back because I wake up every day comfortable with a realization that although I can't change the world, I can change the little pieces of it that I touch. I had an opportunity as a Board of Trustee member to replace our chairman, Bill Ryback, one day on the stage of graduation shaking hands with students. I got to look at each one of those faces as they walked by. There were people coming across that stage that I know were the first ones in their family to have a college or post-secondary education. I also know that there were people walking by that had so much hope. I've had the opportunity to work for a Fortune 100 company for 31 years. And in that very process, I've had an opportunity to realize what means something and what doesn't. It means something to help individuals. And although I may not get to know each one of them personally, when you see them walk across that stage, I find it terribly gratifying.
Scholarships and financial aid have been everything. Without the scholarships, I don't think I would have had the experiences I've had this year, being the best year that I've had. I'm able to spend more time with volleyball. I'm able to spend more time on my schoolwork, which is a big key.
My father passed my junior year of high school, so then it was just us. My older sister's 10 years older than me though, so she was already out of the house. My younger sister and I were on our way to college. She's 2 years behind me. So that's another reason that I did come to Lewis, because I knew the financial burden for my mother would be too much. I'd like to thank the donors because without them, I may not be able to be here.
You know, I was a foreign student, 16 years old, came to Lewis here, and I think it was called the Success Program that allowed me to come to Lewis. And you know, as a foreign student, I had just lost my dad that year, and you know, my mom was the head of the family in Lima, Peru, you know, with 4 other kids that were in different stages of their education. This was like the best gift. So Lewis opened the doors for me. Richard Prince, who was my favorite teacher, he was just an extraordinary teacher. Those people that profoundly touch you, that connect with you. He was that kind of human being. That's the beauty about a place like this, that is not an education just of your mind or just your spirit, but it's all of you. I'm just so moved by the generosity of the people that serve at this place. You know, to come back here, 30 years later and to say it, and to have this make a difference for someone else. In my life, I have touched the lives of thousands of people. And what happened here in my school years from 74 to 78, allowed for that to happen. Without the generosity and the love of the people in this place, none of it happens.
I chose nursing as a major primarily because my mom was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and I found that the nurses were awesome. Receiving financial aid and coming to Lewis has made a huge difference. Coming in as a freshman, I received a big chunk of my tuition by financial aid and by a scholarship, and that was a huge relief, especially to my parents.
It's like an extra burden off of me. I can actually sit and focus on school rather than, how am I going to get this money? I owe these people $600 next month on my payment plan.
What fulfills us being alive is the opportunity to make a difference with someone. And I say that, we all, when you look into anyone's heart, we all want that.